everyone, Frania here. It's my pleasure to invite you to be here with me and be part of Frania Talk. What we do here, I bring a topic that will be interesting for many businesses. If you are an importer, a business owner, if you are an entrepreneur, if you're someone that are interested to move your business to the next level, to find buyers overseas, this is for you. But today, in a special, we're going to talk about the new regulation with China. And it's my pleasure to talk a little bit about international business, which is my passion. I usually take care of my clients and, many businesses around the world. And this morning I received a call from one of my clients, and he's looking to import. It comes at 45 to China, which is something very common in our language as a brokers and traders of commodities. So it comes at 45. It's being a request from the government of China. And I received the requirement that they were looking for. They need the GACC, which is something new. If you're someone that been doing trading and stopped for a little while, maybe during the COVID, and you're coming back to talk about this new requirement from China, it's a registration. It's spelled GACC. It stands for General Admission of Custom of China. So that means that before you enter any food product to China, you have to have the registration. This number is 18 digit. It's being updated in 2022. It's something new for you that are doing brokering and importing to China. You have to have that registration in order to get any food inside China. And otherwise, if you don't have that registration, you're not going to be able to unload the vessel. So the very important information that I have for you today, and I want to put this message because I've been talking with other brokers around the world, some of my partners, and none of them was able to identify this new registration that being approved this year. And I want to, give you heads up on what's going on with China in case you receive any requests. This registration needs to be printed on the Chinese label of importer food. After you got that registration, like I said before, about 18 different digits, so you will be able to bring your product in and successfully unload your vessel and go through the custom and everything will be satisfied. Why I want to talk about this? Because one of my clients that connect with me today explained to me that they did it before and they need to lose the entire vessel because they couldn't get into China. So this is something that you may know about it, but I want to make you aware of it because me connecting with so many brokers today, that's what I find out, and I would like to share with you. Sometime if you are a new importer or exporter, you're gonna face so many update in regard of the country. That's why it's very important for you to learn about each country regulation, or at least to read a little bit before. So when we are doing international business, it's something that we are aware of every single major country that we ship to those countries. What is the regulation? That way you're not gonna face any problem. I seen situation, for example, sugar is very, very delicate item, and if you, for example, import the sugar in a different bag that they allow by the custom, the regulation that you have at the port, you're not going to be able to bring the product into the country. And we're seeing a lot of losses because of that. So you need to be aware before you do any importation or exportation, what exactly is the size of what you are shipping. So there are so many different experiences. Like I said, this market is very small, and that's why we learn every day. We learn, and we need to continue reading and researching before we import or export any product. All right, so once you are an expert and you master one specific item, you're not going to have any issues because you're going to be able to import the product, over and over. And if something happens, you will be notified. So that's why for new exporter or importer, it's good to have that research on hand. Part of the requirement that I have today, it was the registration. The registration, what I'm aware, it can be done also online. It's about different classes. It's a program that you need to go through to learn how to import a food product into China. It's especially for China. Let's talk a little bit about commissions. When I talk about commission between, let's say, Brazil, which is the #1 exporter in terms of sugar, Brazil have a lot of regulation. We are talking between 2.5 to 5%, and they have control over their commission. When you see any government or any other request from countries asking you to, handle that type of commission, like over, $5, $6, $7, $10, $20, which is the case as well, because sometimes the broker team, they can see that you are dealing with the government, like this is the scenarios that I'm bringing today. If you're dealing with the government of the Republic of China, you are dealing with the government of XJ type of industry in other countries. So you usually get inflated because, it's a good commission that I can make. I can become a multimillionaire today to tomorrow. And those are the things that come to your mind. And my advice to you, always leave that conversation a little bit to the end. So be more focused on what your customer wants, how you can supply the product. If you qualify your supplier in order to execute that type of investment, as well as importing or exporting. And that way you can finally speak about commission, because nothing is going to be free. So for some reason, you will request commission for either both sides or one side, but it's good to have the control. Remember, when we are dealing with commodities, it's the same thing like dealing with the stock market. If you are someone that are an investor and you need to be very aware of the stock market, how that works, and the same anxiety that you receive while the prices are going up and down, the same thing happens inside yourself. So that's why it's important to have a peaceful mind and be really focused on what you are doing. And always, like I said, focus on your customer, because he's the one investing the money. He's the one that's gonna go through all this challenge and also stress, because doing this type of negotiation is always stressful. And I highly recommend you to have a good control emotionally, and also, find the balance on how you're going to communicate with the buyers and suppliers, because there's a lot of situations where they get out of their mind, bringing a topic that they are not maybe familiar with, or maybe they are different country with different points of view, and sometimes that bring a lot of conflict. That you need to really be a good mediator and have your good position and good mental health in order to handle all of this. Basically, that's the message that I want to put for my partners, my investor, people that are interested in the international business. And I don't want you to really jump into all this negotiation that you can find there and you have no idea how does this work. So going back to the request about this morning, these people asked me for $20, commission, and this is something that you're not gonna see it happening. I've been part of negotiation with the government of Egypt and so many other countries, and that never happened. So when you're talking about one country and another country, and you're talking about government in between, is something that doesn't happen that way. So there's a lot of regulation and also many people involved on those negotiations, that when you talk about $20, that most likely that's a no-no, because it's very hard to handle that type of commission at that level. With that being said, the specification that I received this morning is it comes at 45, is 2 million metric ton per year, which is something rare, because usually the vessels have their size and the amount of goods that you can put inside the vessels. And, they don't break that. Like you cannot buy 1,000, metric tons. So they usually go after 12,500 of metric ton and, and up, but all depends on the vessel. So when we talk about 2 million divided by 12, we are talking about 166,666 metric ton, and that is per month. And, those are things that we need to always be careful, the amount that the vessel can handle. Don't throw away those numbers because just the government said. So if you are someone dealing with those type of business, make sure that you know the exact amount that the vessel is typically able to transport from one place to another, unless the buyer want to pay more. But that doesn't happen unless it's something, out of the books. Everything happening in the international market. But just so you know, by regulation, you're not gonna lose money. You're not gonna send a vessel with less amount and lose that opportunity to make more money. So that don't usually happen. But I'm not confirming anything. Remember that everything that we are talking today is just a consultation. It's just my opinion as a professional to my clients, and I want to share with you. But anything that I'm saying here, it goes to something that is a law, or you can sue someone because I say it. Nothing like that. We are just sharing information that where you are aware of what's going on with the international market, and I want you to be aware of this new registration for Republic of China. The rest I find well, because it's 12 months contract, which is, normal. Usually the government, they sign for 3 years, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. But this case, they are doing 1 year, maybe because they want to try the product or something like that. So there are so many things that happen between this negotiation. I will keep you updated. If you are someone interested in import and export, and you are someone that want to learn a little bit about how to negotiate from one country to another, if you are a producer and you want to know how you can take your product, you have enough product to ship to another country and supply other country after you are able to supply your own country, and you want to export, that's something that, can call the attention. And I'm telling you because I was very young when I started getting excited about other people's country, where they were raised, and what language do they speak, and what is their culture, and what is their politics in their country. And all these things came to my brain very early, at very early age. And that's why, I want to share with you openly. If you find this video very helpful, I please ask you to click like, click heart, or put your comment below, subscribe in my page, and you're gonna be able to obtain more information. But you need to let me know if this is something that you are also interested in, because it's my passion. I would like to share with you what's going on, how do you do those negotiations, how can you close those big and multimillionaire negotiation with other businesses overseas, because that's my passion. That's what I love. And that's something that I've been doing for many years. And I want to bring all my knowledge and put this video with so many rich information, because at my time, I did not have the opportunity to find someone that talk about this topic and explain to me all the diplomacy and everything involved, the work ethic and professionalism that you find when you are dealing with other countries. You don't have to take things personally, and how to manage control your emotions and everything when you are closing this big negotiation with other countries or other businesses, other contract that you can sign and face everything that you face. I hope this video find you well. If you think it's good and can help you, just put your comments, send me an email to info@franiag.com, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.